This is problem 5.6b. In September 2013, Painter Wax Corporation began operations in a state that requires new employers of one or more individuals to pay a state unemployment tax rate of 4.1% of the first $7,000 of wages paid to each employee. This also happens to be the federal limit as well, so that makes it a little easier. An analysis of the company's payroll for the year shows total wages paid of $212,640. So that's our starting point. And basically, I'm going to jump down and show you how I would do this. You're trying to determine what the net FUTA and SUTA tax would be. And so as we read these items, we're going to see if we do anything with them in terms of calculating the total salaries that are subject to FUTA. Salaries of the president and vice president of the company were $25,000 and $15,000 respectively. So, I mean, the way you read that is president got $25,000, vice president got $15,000 for the 4-month period. But there were no other employees who received wages in excess of $7,000 for the 4 months. Included in the total wages were $900 paid to a director who only attended directors' meetings during the year. That is not subject, directors' fees are not subject to FUTA, so we're going to start with our total wages and subtract out the directors' fees. $6,300 paid to the factory superintendent. Okay, well, that's included in the $212,640, and there's no exclusion for it. They just threw that in there just to kind of mess you up, to see if you would freak out. But that's subject to FUTA tax. And $2,000 in employee contributions to a cafeteria plan made on a pre-tax basis for both federal and state. So you're going to subtract out that $2,000 because that's not subject to FUTA. Now, what I didn't say up here is the vice president and president went over the $7,000. So add their two salaries together and subtract $14,000, which is basically $7,000 for each of them. So they've already paid $7,000 FUTA on their $7,000 in that 14. So that's why you end up with $2,600,000. Good grief, $26,000. Okay, that is in excess because these two equal $40,000, and they only have to pay on the first 14 between the two of them. The SUTA tax is exactly the same total. The wages are $183,740. I didn't explain. So here's your net amount for the FUTA. You times it by the FUTA rate, which is 6% or 0.6%. So that's 0.006. And then the SUTA rate is 0.041. And so these are your two numbers.